guys, it's the Strange Sloth there, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to aim better in Csgo. So if you don't know, Csgo is a massive game. It's been around for a long time now, and the platform is on the PC. It did run on the 360 and PS3 for a bit, but that didn't really work out. But the fan base is brilliant, and it's a really good game, and if you can get it, I would recommend it. So if you play CSGO, you probably know that aiming is pretty much half of what makes you a better player, and then the other half is probably game sense and map awareness. I know there was two things there, but anyway. So the topics that we're going to be covering in this video are 1. Crosshair placement, 2. Movement and shooting, and 3. Recoil and spray pattern control. So to start off with, the player who learns to focus on headshots will almost certainly be better in the long run. What this means is, if you practice trying to aim for the head every single time that you go to shoot an enemy, eventually you'll just train your mind almost to just go for the head, resulting in a quicker kill. Another point is, if you learn where enemies are going to attack and defend from, you'll know to pre-place your mouse and your crosshair, where they're going to attack. So, say if you know that loads of enemies like to come around the corner, if you see an enemy on the minimap, obviously you're going to aim around the corner. So, the next point is, this ties into the last point that I just made, but you need to practice pre-aiming and pre-shooting in some cases. So pretty much you only pre-shoot if you're pretty sure that the opponent's there. That way you're already shooting when you're turning around the corner or wherever. And then pre-aiming is just locking your mouse in place or basically camping in a place where you think an enemy's going to come, and then just anticipate it, and then if he doesn't come it's fine, but then if he does, you've basically won the gunfight. Okay, so moving on to the second point is movement and shooting. So you need to learn how to move smart while in combat, for example the sidestep or strafe shooting. What's quite challenging is you need to synchronize your movement and shooting so that your aim is still precise, but while still strafing to avoid the enemy's shots. But a problem with learning how to strafe and shoot is that when you strafe, your aim becomes more imprecise, and when you stop strafing, you slide for a short period of time. To gain instant precision, just tap once in the opposite direction, and then that will just stop your slide, and then you can just lock onto the opponent. You can practice this with the dynamic crosshair. Like I said, you can practice this by stepping to the left and then and right continuously while shooting at the same spot each time you switch directions. Okay, so another sub point is don't go too fast, because in the beginning, or if you train in a bad manner, you'll start picking up questionable aiming habits. So when you start off, just start as slow as possible so you can take your time, and then if you keep doing that, you'll gradually get faster, and then you'll be able to strafe as fast as possible. So to practice this progressively, what you need to do is start with a point at a wall in a custom game, and then progress on to practicing with bots and maybe on aiming maps. Then you can move on to using it in normal games. So the last point, which is probably the hardest to learn when you start, is the recoil and spray pattern. So depending on the weapon, maybe your first 1 or 2 shots will land perfectly where you aim, and then the next few shots will follow a spray pattern that is fixed for each weapon. Maybe a little bit added randomness as well. The easiest way to learn about the spray pattern of your favourite weapon, so that might be the AK-47 or the AMG, whatever, is to empty the whole magazine into a wall. All weapons go up, basically, or the first 6 to 8 shots do, and then left, and then right, and then back down. So you can compensate this recoil effect by moving your mouse in the opposite direction of the spray pattern. This takes a lot of practice, and that's why it's the hardest thing. It takes a lot of practice to get the timing and movement at several distances right. In the beginning, you should focus on controlling about 6 or 8 shots that only go up. Okay, so an exercise to practice this is open an empty server and then load up a map like Dust, and then if you use the console cheats, you can configure the server for training in the console. So I will leave all the commands for that in the description. So then you need to just buy the weapon that you want. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, where I was giving examples of weapons, a good one to start is the AK-47. So then you just need to practice and shoot against the wall and just practice until you can control your spray patterns. Okay, so the summary is, well, this is the do's and don'ts. So you need to go for headshots, keep your crosshairs at about head level. If you know that an enemy's going to come, you need to pre-aim, and you need to just practice to a sidestep and strafe while you're shooting, and then finally learn the different spray patterns of the guns that you want to use. And then there's only a few don'ts, because CSGO is it's not easy at the start, but once you get the hang of it, it becomes a lot easier. So what you don't want to do is try to aim at the ground or up in the air, so try not to aim at the enemy's like shoulders or their feet, and try not to shoot while running, because that just makes your crosshairs go all over the place and it just messes things up basically. So I might go into more detail in a Counter-Strike video soon, and I've just wanted to say a massive thank you for 100 subs, well, nearly 100 subs, probably by the time this video's up I will have, so thank you guys, thanks for all the support, and I hope we can get to 200, the road to 200. So yeah, that has been Strange Sloth, and I'm leaving it here. Peace.